Gary Valley, an ancient hunting ground in southwestern Uganda, is said to wear a hat of transformation for the Batoro, who are believed to have originated from the Batembuzi and the Bagabu, the said pioneer inhabitants and rulers of the earth. Some other traditions assert that the Batoro are related to the Bachwezi and the Babito line. What can best be said is that the Batoro, being Bantu, having originated from the Congo region, where the other Bantu groups are said to have originated.
You're sitting in a valley called the Gweri Valley, which is traditionally was a hunting ground for the kings.
On here sits Empaako village, a mashup of both a cultural and agricultural tourism facility. This crafty shed makes for a traditional homestead, but with a sprinkle of a modern touch for a traveler's comfort, where the rituals of the Toro tradition are passed on.
We want to build and preserve the Empaako tradition in its entirety. So at Empaako village, you'll get an Empaako name. You will get to see the cultural artifacts explaining the life of a Mutoro or the life of Empaako tradition. You will get to experience the music. You'll get to experience the food. You'll get to experience all other rituals that associate with the Batoro and the people of Empaako. But also, the art and the architecture embedded in us brings out the beauty that you see today. So the uniqueness of tourism really, I feel, is the experience and the beauty and the story behind the establishment.
The Empaako tradition and naming system practiced by the Batoro, Banyoro, Batuku, Batagwenda and Banyabindi, where children are given one of the 12 names shared across the communities, in addition to their given and family names, will be at the heart of preserving this endangered practice.
We are preserving an endangered culture of the world. Empaako tradition is very endangered because the new generations don't really care about, they may care, but even the rituals that we did to name a Mutoro, a Munyoro, a Boki, a Moti, a Puli, and all the rest is slowly getting eradicated, because we see a lot of visitors who come and say, yeah, but I already have a name. I have a pet name, I'm a Boki, I'm what? I'm like, how did you get the name? And they say, yeah, I met a friend of mine and he named me a Boki. But we still have to go about rituals to get the name. Ideally, what we were looking for behind the Culture Center was to create an Empaako traditional exhibit or exhibition center. So out of that is where we built the name Empaako Village, but also ideally we started the place with a sense of feeling that we would create not a festival, but a village where people would actually get traditional names through the cultural rituals.
Empaako village is said to break the Guinness World Record of the biggest port, measuring over 12 meters high and over 9 meters width, an amphitheater where artifacts that depict the way of life of the Batoro, ethnographic collections, regalia and music instruments and their literature.
The port traditionally is a food, water storage. You can use it for cooking or you could use it for water storage. So the thirst for culture defines the port, but inside the port we have a two-storied structure that will give you or will feel the thirst of culture. So hence the port. We also have the open amphitheater for music, the folk tales, fireplaces. So ideally, this village will offer you culture in about 4 or 5 spheres. Culture through music, culture through folk tales, culture through artifacts, culture through food, and then culture through our ritual practices. And when I say ritual, we're not trying to be like, we're not practicing witchcraft. We're being like ritualistic, culturally ritualistic.
The Batoro society was stratified into the Bahuma, and the Bairo. The relationship between the two was more of a caste rather than class differentiation. The Bahuma were pastoralists, while the Bairo were the agriculturalists. Socially and economically, there was a symbolic relationship between the two people. The Bairo could get meat, milk and hides and other cattle products from the Bahuma, and equally the Bahuma would get beer and some other agricultural products from the Bairo. The Empaako village demonstrates exactly that with a touch of modern farming techniques.
We've got a museum that will exhibit the Toro culture in artifacts, and then you can also get to practice the rituals. So the rituals are not only enshrined into Empaako naming, although that is our highlight. There's all other rituals that we do that associate to the Empaako tradition.
Animals like the guinea fowls, geese, rabbits, pigs are also on show. Fish ponds sum up the food experience as they are organically bred within this facility, giving tourists a chance to partake in their own food prep process by harvesting them.
For local tourists, they look at things like weddings. They look at things like, can we have a wild and young party and all the things. They may not necessarily appreciate the culture because they live with culture. And we do not take ourselves as a pride of owners of culture or custodians of culture. They live with culture. But we've also tried to create a scenery where the locals can come and have their parties, have their retreats and enjoy.
Even if not complete, one could easily visualize the eco-lodges, historic cabins and modern glamping hidden within the pine forest and is scattered with unique places to stay. So next time you visit Fort Portal, make it a point to drop by Empaako village and get lost within the region's culture, plus earn yourself a petit name.